At the height of his political power, John F. Kennedy stood as a pivotal figure who bridged the gap between established old money norms and the innovative spirit of the so-called New Frontier. His poised demeanor, strategic decision-making, and a profound sense of familial responsibility mirrored the elegance of established old money wealth, while his presidency heralded a new era of American leadership and societal progress. John F. Kennedy, however, was not just a product of wealth. His upbringing and the cultural heritage of the Kennedy family profoundly shaped his worldview and sense of personal style. Beyond the public image and the extensively chronicled events of his life lies the subtle yet profound essence of his psychology. What was the mindset of a man born into such privilege? In today's episode of Old Money Luxury, we explore the intriguing psyche of John F. Kennedy, examining the psychological framework that guided his leadership and decision-making. Through an analysis of personal correspondences, public speeches, and first-hand accounts from those close to him, we aim to piece together the mental landscape of a man whose legacy is as enduring as his impact was transformative, as we describe the old money psychology of John F. Kennedy. In our first lesson on JFK's old money psychology, we explore John F. Kennedy's acute understanding of his family's legacy and the pivotal role he played within this esteemed lineage. Indeed, from the outset, the Kennedys positioned themselves not merely as individuals seeking success in the new America, but as a family line with a concerted responsibility to present a unified identity to the public, a quintessential trait of old money. Let's explore specific historical examples, illustrating how this collective identity influenced their actions and preserved their enduring influence. You see, the Kennedy family's legacy was significantly shaped by the aspirations of Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., who envisioned his children playing substantial roles in American politics and society, including the highest office in the land. And this vision was most profoundly embodied in his eldest son, Joseph Kennedy Jr., who was initially groomed by the family patriarch Joe Kennedy Sr. to ascend to the highest political office in the United States. However, the tragic and unexpected death of Joe Jr. during World War II in a plane explosion over England abruptly shifted the family's expectations onto the second, and at the time, more wistful, son John F. Kennedy's shoulders. It was indeed a turning point that saw JFK reluctantly stepping into a role carved out by destiny and familial expectation rather than personal ambition. Subsequently, John F. Kennedy's stewardship of his family's legacy was not merely a response to a call to service, but a deliberate effort to intertwine the Kennedy name with U.S. politics, emblematic of an old money strategy to forge a dynastic presence. This strategic positioning was prominently displayed when he appointed his brother, Robert F. Kennedy, as Attorney General. And the appointment was significant not just for its political implications, but as a demonstration of building a family legacy within high echelons of government, a practice reminiscent of historic old money families. Famously, dynasties like the Roosevelts and the Adamses also positioned multiple family members in influential political roles, including 2 presidents apiece, to extend their familial influence across generations. This JFK lesson in legacy teaches us the importance of long-term vision and familial duty, a characteristic that has come to define not just the Kennedy family, but the ethos of old money in American society. Additionally, although nepotism has understandably had a bad reputation these days, the truth is, we all want to see our loved ones share in our successes, and when done right, the old money playbook of setting up your family to win is something we all strive for. However, this is not to say that we only want to put family members and loved ones on our team. As we'll see in the next lesson, JFK was acutely aware that he also had to surround himself with the most intellectually stimulating people he could find to bolster his legacy and improve his decision-making. In the second lesson on JFK's old money psychology, we explore Kennedy's profound belief in the power of intellectual growth, a strategy that helped shape his approach to governance and personal progress, illustrating how investment in intellect can enhance decision-making, foster innovation, and solidify leadership. Many don't know Kennedy's presidency was marked by an unprecedented incorporation of scholars and intellectuals into the White House, forming what would often be referred to as Camelot, a reference to the legendary court of King Arthur, filled with the best and brightest. Among his notable advisors was Arthur Schlesinger Jr., a Pulitzer Prize-winning historian who served as a special assistant and court historian, and who played a critical role in articulating the intellectual underpinnings of Kennedy's administration. Indeed, Schlesinger's insights helped to shape policies and were instrumental in fostering a cultural renaissance within the political sphere. Moreover, Kennedy's own intellectual pursuits contributed significantly to his public image and effectiveness as a leader. His book, Profiles in Courage, which won the Pulitzer Prize for Biography in 1957, showcased his deep appreciation for the complexities of political leadership and moral courage. And another significant work, A Nation of Immigrants, highlighted his prescient views on how immigration would change the face of American society in the coming decades. These works were not just sidelines to his political career, but were central to his identity as a leader and thinker, demonstrating a presidential engagement with complex ideas that was rare and groundbreaking. But Kennedy's commitment to intellectual capital extended beyond his personal achievements to his vision for the nation. He championed education, pushing for funding and support for schools and universities, and was a pivotal supporter of the space race, viewing it as a frontier not just of physical exploration, but of scientific and intellectual endeavor. His famous speech urging America to go to the moon, in his words, "Not because it is easy, but because it is hard," encapsulated his belief in the challenging pursuit of knowledge as a driving force for national progress. This lesson in the strategic emphasis on intellectual capital teaches us that investing in intellect, both personally and as a societal value, is crucial for long-term benefits. And the Kennedy example shows that such an investment is a cornerstone of old money practices, where sustaining influence and leadership across generations is achieved not only through wealth, but through the rigorous pursuit of knowledge. Yet, even if you read all the right books and have all your siblings in positions of power, if you're not married to the right person, it won't work long-term. Let's dive into Kennedy's decisions in the matters of love to find out more. John F. Kennedy's use of strategic alliances through intermarriage to strengthen his family's influence, power, and wealth is a classic page out of the old money playbook. And John F. Kennedy's marriage to Jacqueline Bouvier in 1953 is a quintessential example of this tactic. You see, Jacqueline came from a wealthy and socially prominent family, the Bouvier, who were well established in the East Coast social circles. For example, her father, John Verneau Bouvier III, known as Black Jack, was a stockbroker and real estate investor, embodying the affluent lifestyle typical of old money in America. Her mother, Janet Lee Bouvier, also brought significant social prestige and connections to the marriage, enhancing the Kennedy family's social network and elevating their status further in American society. And Jacqueline's upbringing in this environment equipped her with the social graces and cultural capital that were invaluable as she stepped into the role of First Lady. Her fluency in French, passion for the arts, and impeccable fashion sense made her an international icon, contributing significantly to the Kennedy brand. Furthermore, her sophistication and charm were not just complementary to JFK's charisma. They were integral to crafting the Camelot image, which captivated both the American public and the wider world. But her influence extended beyond mere aesthetics. She was instrumental in the restoration of the White House and the promotion of American arts and culture, endeavors that cemented the Kennedy legacy in national history. Thus, this strategic union exemplifies the old money playbook, where marriages are more than the union of two hearts. They are mergers of power, influence, and cultural capital. These alliances are meticulously planned to enhance the family's position within the social hierarchy and ensure the perpetuation of wealth and influence across generations. Undoubtedly, multi-billionaire investor Warren Buffett's statement, "Who you marry is the most important investment decision you'll ever make," echoes the sentiments embodied by JFK's choice in Jacqueline. This decision was not merely romantic, but was a calculated move within the realm of power dynamics, reflecting a deep understanding of marriage as a strategic asset in the old money arsenal. However, on top of marrying the right person to gain power and influence, naturally, you both have to look the part, as we say. Let's go over to the next lesson to find out how the Kennedys did it better than any before, and arguably any after. In our fourth lesson on the Kennedy family's old money psychology, we turn our focus to their fashion sense, specifically the understated elegance that characterized both John F. Kennedy and his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy. Certainly, this approach to fashion highlighted a key attribute of old money culture, a preference for quality over quantity and timeless style over transient trends. John F. Kennedy's wardrobe was meticulously curated to reflect his role as a statesman and a public figure. His suits, often tailored by Brooks Brothers, exemplified classic American style, and these weren't just clothes. They were a statement of his personal identity and public persona, combining comfort with formality. And Kennedy's style was defined by clean lines and subtle colors, which conveyed a sense of authority and approachability that was crucial for his image as a young, vibrant American president. Similarly, Jacqueline Kennedy's fashion choices played a pivotal role in defining the visual culture of her era. She opted for designs that blended American simplicity with European elegance, choosing outfits that were both practical and stylish. For example, her collaboration with designer Oleg Cassini resulted in a wardrobe that became the envy of women worldwide. Cassini crafted looks that were simple yet profoundly impactful. A-line dresses, evening gowns, and the famous wool boucle suits. However, perhaps her most iconic accessory was the pillbox hat, which came to symbolize her sophisticated and trend-setting style. Together, the Kennedys' fashion choices became symbols of subtle luxury. John's iconic Ray-Ban Wayfarer sunglasses projected cool confidence, while Jackie's seamless blend of haute couture and ready-to-wear items positioned her as a global fashion icon. This focus on high-quality, well-tailored and understated garments allowed them to navigate the public eye with grace and dignity, reinforcing their status as embodiments of American elegance. The lesson here teaches us that clothing is not just fabric and thread, but a language that communicates values and priorities. For the Kennedys, their fashion choices communicated stability, respectability, and an unspoken adherence to the values of their social stratum. And they exemplified how personal style can serve as a powerful tool for reinforcing one's social identity and legacy. Furthermore, the actual classiness with which they spoke, JFK's humor, and their body language spoke volumes about their ability to represent the old money ethos, as we'll demonstrate in the next lesson. In our fifth exploration of the Kennedy family's old money psychology, let's focus on the sophisticated integration of humor, vocal tonality, and body language, and how they were central to their public persona. John F. Kennedy's use of humor during his presidency is a prime example of how wit can be employed to enhance a leader's likability and approachability. His press conferences and public speeches were often punctuated with humor that was insightful yet never offensive. For instance, during one news conference, JFK famously quipped about his wealthy father's financial support for his political campaign by saying, "I just received the following wire from my generous daddy. Dear Jack, don't buy a single vote more than necessary. I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for a landslide." This remark not only drew laughter, but also cleverly deflected criticism while highlighting his self-awareness and charisma. Indeed, such humor was a strategic tool that Kennedy used to connect with audiences, lighten the weight of heavy political discourse, and humanize his otherwise elevated presidential stature. His ability to deliver jokes with a sense of timing and appropriateness showcased his deep understanding of social dynamics, ensuring that he remained dignified and respected across various situations. Accompanying his measured humor was Kennedy's vocal tonality, which was calm, confident, and clear. His voice carried a steady cadence and a warm timbre that conveyed sincerity and command. Whether addressing the nation during times of crisis or engaging with the press, his vocal delivery was consistently poised, reinforcing his leadership and the gravitas of his office. And Kennedy's body language further complemented his spoken words, adding layers to his communication style. His eye contact was steady, suggesting honesty and engagement, while his gestures were controlled yet expressive, enhancing his words rather than overshadowing them. This composed physical presence communicated confidence and control, attributes that resonated with both domestic and international audiences. Together, these elements, humor, vocal tonality, and body language, formed a trinity of communication skills that embodied the old money classiness of the Kennedy family. They were not just manners, but strategic components of their public interactions, crucial for conveying stability, confidence, and a relatable humanity. However, they also served a subtle purpose: to shield the public from any sides of the personal lives of the Kennedy family that they did not want others to know about. In the final lesson, we'll cover exactly how the Kennedy brood handled privacy and discretion, a classic old money strategy. In this final installment of our exploration of the Kennedy family's old money psychology, let's talk about the crucial roles of privacy and discretion. Certainly, these principles were not just preferences, but necessities for John F. Kennedy, given the immense public scrutiny he faced. Now, John F. Kennedy's presidency was marked by a glamorous public image, yet behind the scenes, he grappled with serious personal health issues that he chose to keep private. Suffering from chronic back pain and Addison's disease, a condition that affects the adrenal glands. Kennedy's health was a constant challenge, requiring treatments that included regular painkillers and anti-inflammatory medications. In fact, his back problems were so severe that he underwent multiple surgeries, including a particularly risky procedure in 1954, which nearly cost him his life. Despite these challenges, JFK seldom let his physical condition affect his public responsibilities or demeanor. And Kennedy's discretion about his health was a calculated decision to maintain the image of strength and vitality necessary for a Cold War-era president. He was rarely seen using crutches in public, although he often needed them in private, and this concealment was part of a broader strategy to project an image of robust health and dynamic leadership, crucial for both domestic confidence and international relations during a tense period of American history. In addition to managing his health issues, Kennedy also maintained a guarded private life, understanding the potential fallout of personal revelations on his presidency and family. Undoubtedly, JFK maintained a private life that would be considered highly controversial for a public figure in the 21st century, from purported extramarital affairs to even possible ties to organized crime. Yet, he deftly managed to separate personal vulnerabilities from his public persona. Reflecting on Kennedy's handling of his privacy teaches us that while public figures may lead lives largely in the spotlight, the careful management of what to disclose and what to protect can have profound implications on personal and family well-being. It emphasizes that in a world where information is power, the choice of privacy is not just a right, but a strategic necessity. And now we'd love to see you in the comments. Which old money person from history would you like us to analyze next? We've already done John D. Rockefeller, and now we've covered John F. Kennedy. Send us your ideas below, and thanks again for joining us for for another episode of Old Money Luxury. Cheers, until next time.